Don't become a diplomat just because you're seeing this video. Go out and find your own dreams. Hi, my name is James Choi. I was formerly the Australian Ambassador to Korea. I was an Australian diplomat, having served 27 years in Australia's Foreign Service, but I've now left government and working in the private sector, running my own advisory firm. To be honest, when I was at university, I really didn't know what type of career I wanted to pursue. But what I was interested in was international affairs and why certain countries succeeded, why certain countries didn't succeed. So that interest in international affairs, international relations, led me to apply for a job in Australia's Foreign Service. So after graduating university, I was lucky enough to be hired by Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. And that's when I started my career in diplomacy. I think to understand what diplomats do, I think a useful analogy would be that we build frameworks. We are like builders. So in terms of my role as ambassador in Korea, I was very proud of the fact that we built the framework, the structure, to lift our bilateral relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership. In diplomatic terms, that means the relationship is as close as ever. I was also very proud of the interlinkages that we've built in decarbonising our energy partnership, especially in building the chain blocks for creating a hydrogen economy and a hydrogen supply chain. Public diplomacy is an integral part of overall diplomacy now. It's building people-to-people links, but also about representing the country that you work for. And in my case, representing Australia. And Australia is a very multicultural, dynamic, outgoing society. And so during my term in Korea, I focused on especially promoting that multicultural aspect, the diversity agenda, how Australia gained strength from building a society based on the individual contribution of everybody, regardless of where you came from. So in Korea, I was supporting those schools that were educating the children of multicultural families and underlying to them the importance of diversity and how they should be supported as they integrate into Korean society. Australia is also known for sports and being vibrant in an outdoor lifestyle, and I very much focused on embassy charity events that would support Korean charities but also engage the individuals in the Korean community. So I organised embassy charity rides from Donghae to Seoul, another charity ride around Jeju, which also included Korean entertainer Sean, who was a very close friend and also a keen rider. But also had a chance to run all the key marathons in Korea. I've left government, as I mentioned, after 27 years of service in Australia's Foreign Ministry. I've set up my own advisory firm called J2 Advisory. I'm working with key Korean companies that are interested in building their investment and trade profile in Australia, assisting them with government regulations and policies and building their strategic interests in Australia, but also working with Australian companies working to build their investment profile in Korea. I had Korean parents, that sense of expectation, a sense of pressure of doing well, getting good grades, going to a good university, getting a good job. That sense of overwhelming pressure is something that I experienced, certainly growing up in a Korean family. The message I have to all the viewers is that in the end, you have to make your own dreams, and you shouldn't let anybody else tell you what you should do. Don't become a diplomat just because you're seeing this video. Make sure you go out and find out what you want to do, because this world is big. It's a very difficult question to answer because I have unique perspectives on this. I grew up basically in a Korean family, so I identify myself culturally as Korean. But at the same time, I lived in Australia for over 50 years. My job was to advance Australian interests, advance Australia's identity overseas. I have the unique perspective of switching between one identity, my Korean identity, over my Australian identity. And I think I am quite able to switch between those personalities depending on the situation. So the message I send to most people I speak to is, think of the world as a diverse range of identities and societies. No one society or no identity or no culture is better than one over the other. And certainly from my perspective, I take the advantages and strengths of one, but also bring the advantages and strengths of another. And in the end, you have to be comfortable with who you are. So don't be worried about whether you're Korean or Australian or American or any other culture. Just be proud of the fact that you are who you are and that you're an individual. Don't forget about your Korean linkages. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to understand Korean or speak Korean, but be proud of your heritage and understand where you've come from, because Korea is an amazing country, but at the same time, in your own experiences, in your own endeavors in the country you're living in, you yourself are indeed an ambassador for Korea. But then you also potentially have a role of building that linkage between your country of adoption through to your home country of heritage. So you, in your own way, can be ambassadors.